what she's made of. And today we have her live with us. We're so honored to have Dr. Adaeze Ifezulike. Over to you, have the floor, and we'll be here watching. God bless you, ma'am.
Thank you very much. Thank you so much for this opportunity. I want to just congratulate the Marriage Care International Ministries on their 2nd year anniversary. Can I just check that you can hear me okay? Can you hear me all right?
Yes, we can hear you loud and clear.
Very good. So congratulations on 2 years anniversary, Marriage Care International. It's wonderful. In such a short period, you've made such a global impact. I know that Marriage Care is watched or is listened, the podcast is listened to in more than 30 countries of the world, you know, and is impacting different people, lives and families. It's wonderful. So congratulations again. Thank you so much for having me on this platform. I'm always so delighted to speak on health because that's my passion. It gives me so much joy when people are able to take back control of their health. I don't know if there are people on YouTube. If you're on YouTube, I'd like to know where you're tuning in from. Okay, just let us know where you're listening in from. Are you in Nigeria or Canada or UK? Just give us an idea of where you're tuning in from. I'm so delighted to be here with us. I'll just introduce myself. I'm a medical doctor by training. I'm a family physician, or GP as they call us here in the UK. I'm also a lifestyle medicine physician. That means I'm trained to teach people how they can use their lifestyle to manage their health conditions. It's a relatively new discipline. Thank you. I can see Ify tuned in from Lagos, Nigeria. Nice to have you on the forum. Thank you, Ify. Right. So lifestyle physicians are a relatively new thing in medicine. In the past, medical doctors were trained to use medicine to tackle health problems. But now we're realizing that people don't really want to take medicines all their lives. They want to know how they can use their lifestyle to manage their condition. And that's where lifestyle medicine came about. I was quite privileged to be one of the very first doctors in the United Kingdom to become a lifestyle medicine physician. I was in the very first cohort of doctors that took the certification in 2018 when this started. So it's a relatively new field, but it's taken over the place because we realize that patients want to be in control. They want to know how they can manage their conditions. They don't want us giving them more medicines and more medicines and more medicines. So that is what I am, a lifestyle medicine physician. And you might find out that your own doctors may struggle to advise you on food or exercise. You know, they may say to you, you need to lose weight, but what exactly does that mean? You know, or you need to exercise. What sort of exercise? Doctors are not really trained on that. And that's where lifestyle medicine makes a huge difference. So we're going to be looking at a few things. I want to lay some foundation and start with my story, a bit about my story. By the time I got married, nearly 21 years ago, I weighed 70 kilograms. So, and I'm quite tall. If you know me, I'm a tall lady. So with 70 kilograms, I was really skinny. I was just like a broomstick, you know. But by the time I had my 3 kids, I've had 3 kids, many years down the line, I had added a bit of weight. I was almost pushing to 90, so almost 20 kg on top of my the weight I was when I got married. And I'm sure that's the case with many people here. I don't know if this resonates with you. Just type in the chat. I would like to know what your weight journey has been like. Because for me, it was just a gradual increase. And then suddenly I'm like, oh my goodness, I'm almost 90 kilograms. And I was beginning to have joint problems. My hip joint was quite sore. Even though I didn't look fat to say, you know, if people saw me, they didn't think I was fat, but I knew where I was coming from 70 kilograms to now almost 90. And I was feeling it. I was feeling lethargic. Lethargy, I mean, feeling quite tired all the time. Like I was feeling heavy in myself. So those were the sort of things that made me begin to look more into managing my weight. You know, what can I do to get fitter? So It's really a big thing, weight management, for a lot of people. So many people struggle so much to manage their weight, even to the point of feeling suicidal. I've had people say to me, I'm just tired of this weight thing. It just gets me down. I just feel I don't want to be here anymore because of my weight. For some people, it's taking over their lives. All the time they are worrying about their weight. Maybe you're here, the doctor has told you to lose weight. Please write in the chat. I'm really interested in what people are going through in terms of their weight management. Can you relate with all I've said so far? Type into the chat. I would like to hear from you. So I'll be sharing with us some foundational things about weight management, 10 key things. I'll start with 10 key things that I want you to take on board concerning obesity. And then towards the end, I'll give you 5 actionable tools, 5 key tools, that you can begin to implement right away, so that you can begin to take back control of your weight. Okay, so for now, let me lay some foundations. The first one is that obesity is on the increase. In fact, it's now said that 2 out of 3 of us, so every 3 adults, 2 of them are either obese or overweight, So it's like a global pandemic now. And you realize that many of the people who died from COVID, during the COVID, had underlying, we often say underlying illness. That actually, for a lot of people, was just obesity. A lot of them were obese people and they died from the COVID. In addition to, they may have had some other thing, So obesity is one condition that puts you at risk of health problems, puts you at risk of death, at risk of all manner of illnesses. So that's the first foundation. I want us to understand the scope of the issue. Number 2, majority of our health problems stem from obesity. And I'm sure you agree with this. Maybe you know some conditions that are related to being overweight. Please type into the chat. What conditions do you know? What conditions, if you are overweight yourself, what conditions have you experienced yourself that puts you, is related to your weight? I'm just looking in the chat. Thank you. I can see Sisters Connect. You're here with us. That's great. Welcome on board. Thank you for connecting. So, Justified J, hello to you. Nice to see you. Okay. Yes. And someone says, I can see Miriam. Miriam said, I'm often out of breath. Yes, that's a common thing. If you're overweight, you find that you climb up to your steps, you're panting, you're easily out of breath. Some people experience a lot of heartburn, always a constant acid burning in their chest. Some people have joint problems from their obesity. Some people have skin problems. Some people suffer from infertility. They're unable to take in because of obesity. Okay, I can see Dr. Habiba. Hi, nice to see you on the chat. And she says high blood pressure. I agree with you completely. High blood pressure is a big one. So number 3, almost all adults at any point in time, they are trying to lose weight. And either they're just starting a diet, or they're in a diet, or they're ending a diet. Does this resonate with you? Maybe you're here and you're always on one diet or the other. That is a common thing. Maybe you've been on a diet. Type into the chat. I'm watching out. I just love to hear from people when I'm doing my presentations. And yes, so that's the situation people find themselves in. They're always struggling with their weight. Number 4, remember, I'm laying foundations, and towards the end, I'll be giving us 5 actionable steps to you can begin to put into action right away to manage your weight. So the 4th thing I want to say is that 5% of weight loss is associated with incredible health benefits. What do I mean? All the studies have shown that if you're able to lose just 5% of your weight, 5% of your weight, that's where the health benefits kick in. It's incredible. That 5% can help your diabetes, can help your blood pressure, can help your joints. Just 5% of your body weight off. So people often come to me and they say, oh, I need to lose 20 kilograms. I need to lose 30 kilograms. I say to them, okay, let's start from somewhere. Let's calculate 5% of your body weight. That's where you need to start from. So if you're in this chart, let's calculate it together. What's your weight? So if you know your weight in kilogram, let's do the calculation. So 5% means 5 over 100. Remember, basic mathematics, 5% is 5 over 100 times your weight. What number does it give you? Whatever number you get is your 5%, and that's what you need to lose. I can see memoirs of a mom. Thank you for joining us. And you say that you're a chronic dieter. You're not alone. You are not alone. So many people are like that, always on one diet or the other. Thank you for joining us. Dominion Soccer says very true. Yes. So 5%. If you're 100 kilogram, okay, if your weight is 100 kilogram, so you do 5 over 100, 5% times 100 kilogram. That means you will be getting 5 kilogram. So 5 kilogram is the amount of weight you need to lose in, try and lose. That should be your first target. Don't worry about losing 20 kilogram and 40 kilogram. Take off 5% of your weight, and that may be all you need to manage your diabetes, to come off some of your medication, So if you're here and you've calculated it, drop it in the chat. Let's see what people need to lose. Let's see how much. Don't tell us your weight. You might be embarrassed to say that, but how much do you think you need to lose? Have you done the calculation? Let's have a look. Let's have a look. So that 5%, and the reason I want you to do it is that it immediately gives you an idea of what to start working towards, okay? So your weight loss is not a vague idea. I can see Joanna. Joanna says she needs to lose 5.11 kilogram. Good. So that's somewhere to start from. You have to know the numbers. You have to know the numbers. Dr. Habiba says she needs to lose 3.9 kilogram. Great. Now you know what to fight for, what you need to work on. You have a target. If you don't have a target, people say big things like, oh, I need to lose weight. What does that even mean? How much weight? Wow. Idara says she needs to lose 25 kilogram. Wow. You need to speak to me, okay? 25 kilogram is a lot. Someone says, I want to lose 5 kilogram. From Naomi. From Ifeorakwe, I need to drop 4 kilogram. From Chinyere, you need to lose 3.5 kilogram. Great. So now you have the numbers, okay? That is where the health benefit starts from. You might be suffering from acne. By the time you drop that 4.2 kilogram, that may be it. Miriam says she needs to lose 5 kilogram. Great. Great. You have a target now, okay? Very important. So number 5 thing I need to say, weight gain is often a manifestation of some other issue. For instance, if you're depressed, you might add weight because you're eating, you're comforting yourself with the food. If you feel guilty or unworthy of love, you may actually be unconsciously letting yourself go because you feel, well, nobody even cares, you let go of your appearance, and that can affect even your relationships. You might not be happy in your marriage or relationship, or you feel you make all the efforts and your partner doesn't even notice. That can make you to just let go. So weight gain is often a manifestation of something else, not really by itself. And that's why we want you to manage your weight as a lifestyle decision, okay? Rather than just a decision for a period. Maybe you have a wedding coming up. So you want to lose weight for the wedding, or you have this interview. So you want to drop some 2 kg. So that new suit you just bought can enter you. That's not the right way to go about it, okay? Weight management has to be a lifestyle. You have to understand the health benefits. And that's why I'm laying this foundation so that you see that it's not a quick fix. It's not a matter of, okay, I have this, my old school girls association. I don't want to look like the oldest. So you're going to do this diet, so you can look fit and go and oppress them at your old girls association meeting. No, that's not what it's about. It's got to be a lifestyle decision. It's got to be something you're doing because you understand the health benefits. Okay, so your weight loss, number 6, your weight loss must be sustainable. Whatever strategy you're using for your weight loss, it has to be something you can sustain. Remember, we're talking about a lifestyle change. That's what we are on about, is a lifestyle change. It has to be something you can sustain for it to work. You can't drink shakes forever. I'm sure you agree, You can't eat only fruits forever. Some people drink water. You can't drink only water forever. You can't eat only nuts forever. You've got to choose a strategy that you can, that is doable, that is sustainable. You can't eat vegetables, you can't eat only carrots every day, day in and day out. So your weight loss strategy has to be something that is sustainable. Okay. Number 7, remember, we're laying foundations so that we can get it right from the start. I want to see what's happening in the chat. I can see Owolabe Adeotu or Adeoti. You need to lose 3.5 kilograms. Good. Dominion Soccer says 3.5 kilograms. That's great. These are not too bad, honestly. It's quite doable, to be honest. And Sisters Connect says a lifestyle change is the key. That is it. A lifestyle change is the key. It's not about moving from one diet to the other one. It's got to be a lifestyle change. Thank you, Sisters Connect. So number 7 foundation is that fasting, listen, fasting, if done properly, is an incredible tool in your weight loss arsenal. Can someone write that down? Please put that in the chat. Fasting, if done properly, can be an incredible tool in your weight loss arsenal. For the simple fact that it allows your body to actually burn fat. If you keep eating, there's no chance for the fat to be burned. If you've got lots of food in your fridge, you have your fridge in the kitchen, yeah, but you have your freezer somewhere else, maybe in your utility room or your garage. If you always have food in your fridge in the kitchen, you're not going to go to the freezer to get food. In the same way, if you're always eating food, your body won't have any need to burn its body fat. Why? When there's food coming in all the time, it's going to keep the fat. You see the difference? So that's why I'm saying that if fasting is done well, thank you, Deb. I think it was Deborah that wrote that out. Thank you very much. Thank you, Rema Judge. Fasting, if done properly, can be a great tool. From Miriam, thank you so much for writing that in the chat. And now you've written it. Guess what? You're not going to forget it. You're going to wake up in the night and say, Dr. Adaeze said, if fasting is done properly, it can be an incredible tool. Now you've written it out, you will remember. So we'll talk some more about fasting. Okay, we're just laying foundations. Number 8 now. Number 8, understanding the body signals is key. You need to be able to interpret what your body is saying. What is your body saying at every point in time? When you get hunger pangs, what does that mean really? Could it mean that you just need to drink some water? Could it be wind rolling about in your tummy? Maybe you need to take a walk and get the wind to release. But for a lot of us, what we think is hunger pang makes us go and eat. Meanwhile, maybe your body is not wanting food, it's saying something else. So when you get those hunger pangs, what you interpret as hunger pangs, what you do next can make or mar you. So your body may need water rather than food. It might mean that you need to, there are people who love to snack at night. What can you do when those hunger pangs come? Could you drink some green tea rather than eating? Could you, just walk around a bit, read a book, try and ignore it. And the good thing about hunger pang is that it doesn't stay. It comes like a wave. You feel so hungry, like you need to eat. But if you're able to wait it out a bit, even drink some water, that wave settles down. Okay, so you don't have to respond to it all the time. Because if you do, your body is never, ever going to have a chance to burn its body fat. And that's what the body fat is there for. Okay. So thank you so much. I can see lots of chats. I'll have a look shortly. Bridget Adeboye, hi girlfriend, nice to see you. Bridget says, fasting if done properly is an incredible tool in your weight loss arsenal. I understand, that's great. Mavis says, exactly what I'm doing now. Okay, which one is that? Is it the snacking? Nice to see you, Mavis, by the way, it's been a while. So let's go to number 9 strategy. Number 9, knowing the type of exercise your body needs is a game changer. Game changer. Mavis says, drinking green tea. I got you, girl. Good. So exercise is a game changer. And you need to know the type you need. If you're very stressed, if your life is so stressful, if your work is so stressful, then you don't need stressful exercise. Really important to understand the difference. There are exercises that are restorative. okay? Your body might need restorative exercise. Not everybody needs to be running or carrying weights, you know? Your life is already so stressed by other things. Don't come and add on stressful exercise. So you need to know the right sort of exercise for you. And restorative exercises are really great. I'll give you an example. I've had people come to see me in the clinic. I do their blood pressure and it's through the roof. 190 over 110, really raised high, blood pressure. And I said to them, right, I'm going to repeat this, but I want you to sit back and just relax. I get them to relax, close your eyes. And I said to them, just imagine you're on a beach, okay? And you're in a world where there's no coronavirus. All is well with your world. And they smile because, I just get them to relax. And after a minute, I take the blood pressure again. And honestly, the blood pressure just drops, boom, like that. Just from 190 to 140 or something like that. So, so for such people, it's not that they have high blood pressure as such. It's just that their bodies are in a constant state of stress. Their bodies are wound up tight, like a coil. What they actually need is restorative exercises that relax them. Things like meditation, things like stretches, things like gentle swaying to music. So there are all sorts of exercises. So exercise doesn't mean weightlifting or, body hammer or, things. Not always. It has to be tailored to your lifestyle. Okay, we're laying foundations here. Number 10 now. Sleep is often the missing link. Sleep. How many of us on this call sleep up to 7 hours? Can I see how many hours we sleep? Just drop in the chat. Let's see how many hours you sleep. I can see Awolabi Adeoti say it's really happening to me now. Good. Let's see what people are saying. How many hours of sleep are we getting? Deborah says 6 hours. That's good. Idara says 5 hours. Great, great. Let's see some more numbers. That's good. Miriam, 5 to 6 hours. Good. Okay, great. Thank you, ladies. Thank you, gentlemen. So normal adults should be taking about 7 to 8 hours of sleep, thereabouts. Okay. So I said sleep is the missing link. Because guess what? When you are sleeping, there's something you're not doing when you're sleeping. I see Nkiru Kanwachuku. Hi, that's the president of my Old Girls Association. Wow, nice to see you here. I salute. Okay, so there's one thing you're not doing when you're sleeping. When you're sleeping, you are not eating. So if you sleep for 7 hours, that's 7 hours that you haven't eaten. 7 hours that the body actually has a chance to tap into its fat stores. 7 hours that the body has a chance to clear all the rubbish out, to just renew itself, to rejuvenate itself. So it's something you cannot, take as something just when you feel like you sleep enough. No, you've got to sleep, really important. Many have tried all sorts of diets and exercise, but as long as you don't sleep well, you may never achieve your weight loss goals. Sleep is a game changer. Can someone type that into the chat for me, please? Sleep is the game changer. Sleep is the missing link. Let's write that down. Sleep is the missing link. That will remind you you've got to sleep. You've got to prioritize your sleep. Really important. Thank you, Chinyere. Chinyere says sleep is the missing link. Thank you very much. Sisters Connect. She said, when you're sleeping, you are not eating. Exactly. When you're sleeping, you're not eating. You're actually giving your body a chance to burn its fat, And guess what? The body will always find the energy it needs. After all, you don't die when you're sleeping. You never feel like you need to eat. That's not true. The body will find what it wants. We have learned to eat breakfast, for example, from habits. There are people who love to eat in the car. I'm one of the car addicts. Anytime I'm driving, I just want to eat. Sometimes I actually carry my food into the car. It's a learned habit. I just don't feel complete if I'm driving and not eating. And it's so bad. It's so bad. I don't know if there are any car eaters here. Are you like me? Are you a car eater? Are there people who identify with that? Or people who love to snack when they're watching TV? Oh my goodness, that Nigerian movie, is not complete unless you have a bag of crisps you're eating from. Deborah says, COVID changed me. Very good. So I hope COVID changed you for good. Is that what you mean? That's very good. Okay, so these are learned habits. These are things we've learned over time. Chinyere says, I realize I eat more when I stay up late. Exactly. You need to be sleeping, not staying up late. If you stay up late, you're going to eat. So try and get in your sleep. Very important. So some of these habits, we need to drop them. And don't worry, the body will find the energy it needs, okay? The body is really smart. Don't feel you need to keep feeding the body. So a lot of health issues can be sorted by losing weight. And I want to tell us this story before I then give you the 5 key steps into losing weight. Now, we have a weight loss group I was part of. And we had a lady there who, she joined us, she did all she was told. She was actually losing weight, which was great. And then one day I got a frantic call from her, she said, Dr. Adaeze, I'm pregnant. I didn't know whether it was good news, some people don't want to be pregnant. So for them, it's bad news, or whether it was good news. I didn't know her background that well. And she said to me, you don't understand. My last child was 7 years ago. So she has a 7-year-old child, and she's not been able to take in since then. She said she's never used contraception. She just hasn't been able to take in. But just being on the group and losing some weight, she just lost a bit of weight, and she took in something that hadn't happened in the past 7 years. That is how powerful weight loss can be. And that gave me so much joy. That's why I do this. I'm not being paid for this stuff. You understand? I do this because stories like this give me so much joy. It just makes me realize, oh my goodness, people can actually solve a lot of their issues by losing weight. It's great. And if you're here thinking you need a bit of hand-holding, please send me an email. Join our weight loss group. It's called Fab Weight Loss Academy. Fab, F-A-B for fabulous. So Fab Weight Loss Academy @gmail.com. Please, can someone type that into the chat for me? Fab Weight Loss Academy @gmail.com. Send me a message and let's get you into our weight loss group. We're starting on 2nd of May. 2nd of May, we kick off. If you're finding this useful, you will be blown away by the actual academy. Just 4 weeks of teachings like this, hand-holding, going through your medical records. It will be like having your own personal physician. I'll be there to hold your hand to help you through it. Okay, so let's move on. So 5, thank you so much, Agatha, for writing Fab Weight Loss Academy @gmail.com. That's correct. Joanna, thank you for writing that down. Thank you. Rema, George, thank you. Dr. Habiba, you people are showing me so much love. I love you all. Thank you so much for helping me with that. So what are the 5 arsenals to combat weight loss, weight gain? 5 arsenals to combat your weight gain. Okay, the first thing to realize is that obesity is caused by various things, okay? There's no magic bullets. It's multifactorial. It's just like heart disease. Heart disease can be caused by smoking. It can be caused by being sedentary. There are some people who their jobs are sedentary. You're seated for 7 hours at work. That job will kill you. If you're seated for 7 hours at work, that's not right. You need to get up. Every couple of hours, you need to get up and walk around. Sitting for so long they said, is the new smoking. Kills. If your job is sedentary, you need to get up. So your heart disease could be because your job is sedentary, or because you're smoking, or because you have family history of that, and so on. So it's multifactorial. Same thing with obesity. Okay, it could be lack of exercise, but there are whatever the reason is for your obesity, there are 5 things you can begin to do right away to make a difference. Are we ready? Are we ready for that? Okay, number 1, never use added sugars. Okay, this is different from normal sugar you find in food. Example, let me give you an example. If you're eating a slice of watermelon, it already has natural sugars in it. You're not going to go and sprinkle sugar on top of the melon, okay? Because it already has its natural sweetness, okay? However, there are foods where you find that you need to add sugar. So that's what we call added sugar, okay? You need to add sugar to your akamu, your cornmeal, for example, or your porridge oats. Those are areas where you are adding sugar to sweeten it. So the first key point is never use added sugars. I take oats a lot. I never add sugar. In fact, I don't have sugar in my house. I made up my mind 3 years ago to stop buying sugar, and it was an uphill task. I can tell you, my children protested. Everybody said, we can't do it. I said, well, I'm just not buying sugar in this house. And we've learned to use fruits to sweeten our porridge. When we make our porridge, we cut banana bits into it, or strawberries, or whatever fruits are available, chop it up, pop into the oats, and it sweetens it for you. Or you might be someone who likes nuts. Why don't you grind and chop your peanuts or almond nuts and put into the oats? You might not need sugar. So the first key is to not use added sugars, okay? Sugar, bear in mind that sugar is hidden from us by different names. Do you know that there are up to 50 or more names for sugar that the manufacturers are using to deceive you? So you don't even realize how much sugar is in your food. Names like molasses, caramel. I don't know. Do you know the different names of sugar? If you do, type into the chat. Let's have a look. Type into the chat. Let's have a look. What names do you think sugars are called by? Joanna says she can add ground cinnamon to her porridge. Great. That's being creative. Thinking of different things you can add. Agatha says sucrose. Yes, that's another name for sugar. So Adara says glucose. Exactly. But those ones are even a bit more obvious. Do you know that things like nectar is another name for sugar? Maltose, golden syrup, maple syrup, all of them mean sugar. All of them mean sugar. You see, the manufacturers know that you've been on a talk with Dr. Adaeze, and Dr. Adaeze has said, stop using sugar. So now they're being creative. They're going to give it a different name so that you won't know that it's sugar. So you need to be creative to find out all these different names and watch out for them. So the main foods to avoid are foods where you need to add, it's easy to add sugar, okay? Things like your cakes, your pies, your chin-chin. Oh my goodness, are there Nigerians here? The Nigerian chin-chin is one of the best snacks in the world, but it's also one where you can add so much sugar, So it's a dangerous one. If you're really keen to lose weight, watch your chin-chin, your sweet bread, agege bread. Oh my goodness, those breads are so full of sugar. That's why they're so popular. They're pleasant to eat, but they're ones where there's lots of added sugar. Pancakes, your jams, your jellies, your ketchup. Do you know how much sugar is in a spoonful of ketchup? You will be shocked. Sauces like sweet and sour sauce that we use with food, they're often sugar laden. So think creatively. Yes, Naomi says baked beans. I agree with you. Baked beans is full of sugar. So think creatively about how you can replace added sugars. For example, using pieces of fruits in your porridge. I've said that already, so that you can avoid sugar. Joanna says fizzy drinks contain a lot of sugar. Exactly, you're correct, Joanna. Thanks for that. So the main meals where we take added sugar is breakfast, okay? The main meals where you take added sugar is breakfast. You only need to look at the breakfast cereals we take or give our children. These are major sources of sugar. So consider carefully what you have for breakfast. And in fact, consider skipping breakfast entirely. I know that may come as a huge shock to us. Has anyone here skipped your breakfast? Have you skipped your breakfast? Please type into the chat. How did you find it? Was it easy to do? Or was it difficult to do? Have you skipped your breakfast? Deborah says yes. Was it easy? Did you struggle? Was it really difficult? Honestly, a lot of people find that it's quite easy to miss breakfast. And when you miss breakfast, you've missed one meal that is really often laden with sugar. Okay, so in your weight loss journey, it's something you need to consider. We'll come back to that. Joanna says you can drain off the sugar from the baked beans. Yes, possibly. So drinks. Let's talk about drinks now. We're still on point one. And drinks are another trap for taking in added sugars, such as smoothies. Your smoothies, oh my goodness, no matter how they say it is healthy, a lot of these smoothies have a lot of sugar. Your shakes, your juices, try and avoid them if you can. You know, if you can take water or plain teas, herbal teas, coffee without milk or sugar, learn to take those. Every habit can be formed in 21 days. In 21 days, if you avoid your smoothie, your sugar-laden juice for 21 days, you won't need it again. That habit will be formed, you know. Sweeteners, I want to mention sweeteners because that comes up a lot. I discourage people from taking sweeteners. I mean, you've been trying to lose weight for years and taking sweeteners. Has it really helped? It hasn't helped. So there's just no point. You know, many obese people use sweeteners in an attempt. They want to avoid sugar, but they still remain obese. It doesn't help at all. In fact, you're simply continuing to train your taste buds to like sugar. So your taste buds continue to crave sugar and keep you feeling hungry. So it's best to avoid sweeteners if you can. Okay. Puni says even coconut water has added sugar. I know they add sugar into everything. They add sugar into everything. Justify J says I rarely have breakfast. Great. And you're fine, aren't you? So many of us have bought into this lie about breakfast being the most important meal of the day. It's just the breakfast, the cereal makers that said that, okay? They want you to buy their cereal, so don't mind them. If you miss breakfast, nothing will happen. Nothing happens. Absolutely nothing happens. Nothing goes wrong, okay? We'll come back to that. So number 2, remember we're talking about the arsenals in your weight loss journey. Reduce refined grains, okay? What are grains? When we say refined grains, what are grains? Grains are really just seeds of grass harvested for food. You know, grains like rice, you know about rice, your wheat is a grain, your corns, all those sort of things are just seeds, you know, grains harvested from edible grass and things. So they're often refined into white flour. They're often refined into white flour, like white rice. So they refine your brown rice into white rice, you know, your white potatoes and so on. Then they use the flour to make breads, cakes, donuts, things like puff puff, your buns. So all the goodness, the natural goodness in these grains that God has packaged, God has carefully packaged them in the way they should be with all their fiber and minerals and vitamins. These are then processed out of the grain, leaving just concentrated carbohydrates. And concentrated carbohydrates is just sugars in a concentrated form. I don't know if you've heard that bread, you know, bread actually raises blood sugar more than sugar. When I first heard that, I said, how can it be? How can it be that bread raises blood sugar more than sugar itself? Until I understood that, you see, when you have a cube of sugar, that's all you have, the cube of sugar. But when you have bread, it's come from concentrated carbohydrates. So that's actually concentrated sugar. And that's how come your bread raises blood sugar more than actual sugar itself, because the bread, the carbohydrates is concentrated sugar. And then they grind it into flour, which is then easily absorbed into your bloodstream. It just goes straight into the bloodstream. Thank you, Sanami, for writing that. Yes, bread raises blood sugar more than sugar itself. So we now struggle to stop eating these things because they're addictive. We love them. Who doesn't love their bread? I mean, if I said everybody stop eating bread now, I'm sure some people will shoot me. Are there some bread addicts in the house? I mean, nothing like a piece of toasted bread with your favorite jam on top. Right. Are there some bread addicts? So let's hear from you. Yes, so we get used to it. We get used to our white rice. Yes, Naomi is one of the bread addicts. May God deliver all of us. You know, so we get used to these things, but we can change. We can actually get creative about what we're eating. Because of time, let's move on. Number 3, eat good quality proteins and healthy fats. Eat good quality proteins and healthy fats. Proteins are needed by the body for our health. They also make us feel full for longer periods. They make us feel full. Try eating maybe eggs and bacon in the morning. You feel so full for a long time compared to how you will feel if you just ate bread and jam, which is just sugar. After an hour or so of bread and jam, you will feel hungry again. You know, but if you eat some good quality protein and fats, you know, some chicken and some veg with it, you actually feel quite full for a long time. So eat healthy fats as they keep us full for long. Healthy fats include, do we know the healthy fats? If you know a healthy source of fat, type it into the chat. Let me see what you know. Do you know the healthy fats out there? Come on, let's see. Puni says, Vogel bread is highest in protein and lowest in carbohydrate. Thank you for letting us know that. That's good. Dr. Habiba says avocado. Exactly. Avocado. Fish from Agatha. Excellent. Fish from Agatha. That's good. Thank you so much for that. So nuts, yes, Deborah, nuts are healthy fats, really important, good for brain development. So our healthy fats include avocados, our nuts, our olive oil, our oily fish, our full fat milk. These make us feel full, actually. So don't go for the diet milk or for the low fat milk. Just drink the proper milk. It's healthy fats and will keep you longer, keep you fuller for longer. Okay, yes, Joanna, milk, full fat milk is great. We know they've been demonizing fat for years, telling us fat was the wrong thing. But actually, healthy fats are good. They keep us fuller for longer. Thank you, Sister Naomi, for writing out the healthy fats. Thank you very much for that. Cottage cheese from Joanna. Thank you very much. So just a reminder, if these things sound difficult to you, we have our FAB Weight Loss Academy. So just contact us at fabweightlossacademy@gmail.com and we can get you our weight loss class starting on May the 2nd. May the 2nd we kick off in 4 weeks, just for 4 weeks, just to get you ready for summer. End of May, by June, you have your beach body and you're ready to go, okay? So if you need a bit of help, drop us an email at fabweightlossacademy@gmail.com and we can help you. So number 4, we're now on the fourth key tool. Eat food in its natural state. Can someone please write that down for me? Eat food in its natural state. Thank you, Naomi, for giving us that email address. So what do I mean by eating food in its natural state? Example, eat an apple rather than drink apple juice, okay? So the apple is the natural state. The apple juice is what man has made. Christine, thank you for writing that down. Eat food in its natural state. So eat natural, just unprocessed food like fish. When you see fish, it's just fish, it's nothing else. You understand? That's the natural state. Thank you, Charity. Eat food in its natural state. So eat your fish, your nuts, your seeds, your olives. They actually look like food. That's how they are from the tree. Your garden eggs, your mangoes, your pawpaw, your udara. If you're from the east, like myself, east of Nigeria, udara is one of our really lovely snacks. It's just natural food. That's what it is, So eat food in the way it was created by God. Because man-made variations of the natural foods are often laden with salt and sugar to make them tasty. So when man makes these things, they have to put sugar, they have to put salt so that it has taste. So try to eat food as close to nature as possible. You don't see like beef burger growing on the tree, do you? So that's man-made. You see what I mean? A lot of packaged food, those sort of things need sugar and salt to make them tasty. So they're not the natural way. And the body recognizes signals in natural food. There are some signals that help us to feel full and avoid overeating. For example, if you ate a mango, inside the mango, there's fiber. So the fibers stimulate the stretch receptors in our tummies. Those stretch receptors will be stimulated and they will send a signal to our brain to say, you've eaten enough, time to stop, you see? But these natural foods often have the fiber processed out. So that normal signal that should tell you you're full is not there. Think about how many apples can you really eat, And yet you can drink liters of apple juice. By the time you eat 3 apples, you're full. But you can drink 3 liters of apple juice because it's been processed, you see. Do you know how many apples they will need to make that apple juice? So in one drink, you may have drunk enough sugar that was in 10 apples. Whereas normally you wouldn't eat 10 apples, you just eat 3 and you're full, or even 2. You see what I mean? You see the difference between the natural food and the man-made one, okay? Our time is running out. So number 5, interchange periods of feeding with periods of fasting. If you get this point, if you miss every other thing I've said, please get this one. help me write it down, interchange periods of feeding with periods of fasting. We have talked about what to eat. Now we want to look at when to eat. When do we need to eat? Eating constantly means that the body does not have a chance to actually burn all the calories you are giving it. If a fuel tank is full and yet you keep putting fuel, it's going to spill all over the floor, all over the car, you know. And if someone comes with a tiny flame, thank you, Agatha, for writing that down. Thank you so much. If someone comes with a tiny flame, that could cause a catastrophic explosion. Likewise, if we are constantly feeding, it means that there's an overflow of calories that the body has to deal with. You know, it's forced to store these as body fats in the organs of your body. And that's where when people begin to have things like fatty liver, maybe you've had a scan and they said to you, you have fatty liver. So what's happening is that the fat cells are taking over your liver cells. And the fat cells cannot do what the liver cells do, you see. And the liver is an important organ. You know, we all have 2 kidneys. So someone can even give you their kidneys. Thank you, Charity Okongwu. Thank you for writing that down. So someone can even give you one of their kidneys, but we all have one liver. So who is going to give you your own if your fat cells take over the liver cells? And that's when people have liver failure, you know. So when you're fasting, the body uses the stored calories to make energy. So to lose weight, extend the period that the body is using these calories by fasting. Consider eating a late breakfast. Shift your breakfast to 12 noon. And when it's 12 noon, just have lunch. Don't have the breakfast and then lunch again. Just have lunch. It's lunchtime, okay? Just forget the one you missed, the breakfast. So consider eating a late breakfast or skipping breakfast altogether. You'll be fine. I'm telling you, try it. You'll see it's okay. So those are the key 5 steps to losing weight. I haven't gone into long details because of the time. I want to take some questions. So, but in our Fab Weight Loss Academy, starting on the 2nd of May, we'll be holding your hand as you journey through to losing weight. You need coaches that are tried and tested, people who know what they're saying, because we want you to do it in a safe way. We don't want you to suddenly drop 30 kilograms. That's not healthy. We want to teach you to make it a lifestyle. So you will lose weight, guaranteed. The quantity will be up to you, okay? You will learn more than weight loss. You will learn how to lead a healthy lifestyle. So send a message to us on fabweightlossacademy@gmail.com. If you want to lose weight, if you have diabetes, or you have been told you can't have surgery because of your weight. Do you know how many people they've said to them, we can't do your knee replacement until you lose weight? Because the surgeon knows that if he operates on you because you're overweight, you're not going to have a good outcome. And their work is audited. They don't have bad records to make it look like they're not doing a good job as surgeons, when actually it's because you're obese, okay? So if the doctor said, we can't operate on you, which is what they're doing now, you need to go and lose weight first. Come to us, we can help you. If you have infertility related to your weight, if you have knee or hip pains due to obesity, or you feel bad about your weight, you're being teased about your weight, or you even struggle to sleep, you know, when you're overweight, you lie on this side, you're so uncomfortable, you lie on that side, you're moving around and you never get any sleep. Please come to us. If you have terrible skin related to your hormones, we can help you. So the Fab Weight Loss Academy will help you get to your goals in just 4 weeks. You will see a lot of change. So thank you so much for listening. I hope you can pick just 1 or 2 tools from here and run with it. You don't need to do everything. Just pick 1 or 2, run with it, connect with me in a month's time and tell me, Dr. Adaeze, I picked this from your talk and I've been doing it, and look at the results. That will be fantastic. That will make my day. So thank you so much for listening. I will stop so far, and I hope you have picked something to help you. God bless you. Thank you for joining me. Thank you so much. And I'll hand over to Apostle Festus, who is the host of this show. Thank you. I see some love in the chat. Thank you. I appreciate you all.
Wow.
Thank you.
Thank you. Wow.
Wow. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you very much, Adaeze. Ifezulike, thank you. That
Thank
was
you, Ma.
explosive.
Thank you
I was
very
just carried
much.
away. I was
Thank you.
just wishing we just continue, we just roll it on. Please, you can still mute your audios, please. All right, please, let's remain muted. Thank you. All right, so we're just quickly going to question and answer series now. We have a couple of questions. If you have your question, you can drop it in the Zoom platform or directly to the YouTube platform. Wherever you drop them, we'll just pick them up. We're already behind schedule, so we'll just try and see how we can run through this. Now, Dr. Adaeze, somebody asked while you were teaching, can we use honey in the place of sugar? There's another question related to it. Anyway, okay, let me just put both of them together. How truly safe is natural honey? Another person asked that. So you can just put those two questions together. How truly safe is natural honey? Can we use honey in the place of sugar?
Thank you for that question. Can you hear me? Can you hear me?
Yes, we can, please.
Okay, so it's the principle I want you to look at, okay? Yes, honey is natural. It's actually one of the very few foods that are just plain sugar in nature. You understand? So honey is natural. However, we're looking at the principle behind it because we want to retrain our taste buds, okay? We all taste sugar at a high level now because of the sort of foods we've been eating over the years. What we're trying to do is to come back to what is more natural. Do you know a lot of children won't eat orange because it's not sweet enough? Their breakfast cereals are sweeter than orange. They're sweeter than carrots. So they find carrots not tasty because their sugar, the level at which they taste sugar is so high now because of the type of modern food we're eating. So honey is not bad, but if you're trying to reset your system, especially if you want to lose weight, we'll say cut down on that. Try and do without, okay? If you're so used to honey, add a little now and again. Try and skip it now and again. Keep doing that. Like I said, if you skip it for 21 days, you will forget that you ever used honey. You know, so that would be my answer. Nothing wrong with that. But if you're trying to lose weight, we would say any added sugars at all, try and cut down. Hello? Have we lost our host?
Thank you.
Okay.
Oh, no, I'm okay. I think there's just a lap going
There's
on.
a delay, I think.
Okay. Someone asked, is using plantain flour of eating gari healthier?
Plantain flour. Okay, so.
Okay, do you want me to take that question again?
No, it's fine. I heard you. Yeah. So plantain flour, I would say look at the way it's prepared. Okay. If you get the plantain with its natural fibers, and that's what it is, it's just you cooking the plantain and using it as your swallow, that's fine. Okay. But if it's processed, if you're buying it from the shop, you're never quite sure what they've mixed with it. Okay. You often find that they processed the healthy stuff out. So if you're eating it you're making it yourself, I would say yes. But again, remember, cut down the amount you're eating or eat it within a short window. You really must make some time for your body. You have to practice some sort of fasting to allow your body use up some of its body fats, okay? So yes, I would say go for it if you're the one preparing it.
All right, great. Thank you. You've already answered this question why you were actually teaching, but let me just still put the question back to you again, in case you might just want to still add a little bit to it. Is that we are told that breakfast is the most important meal of the day. How true is this? Honestly, I want you to clarify this again. You said that the producers of some of these sugar laden products, I know this has been so controversial. A lot of persons are still finding it difficult to agree with you that breakfast is not the most important meal or whatever. But you are a medical practitioner and you are in this field, and this is what you do. So please, can you just take us through again, maybe for the sake of those who didn't join in earlier? How true is that? Is breakfast the most important meal of the day? That's a question to you, ma'am.
Okay, yeah, so no. Okay, there's no most important meal, definitely not breakfast. Okay, and actually, if you look back, breakfast is a new thing. It's relatively new. You know, our ancestors woke up and went to the farm. They farmed in the cool of the day till around midday before they ate. They didn't have breakfast. It's something that has come up during the years, you know, with new products being produced, cereals, especially the cereal manufacturers. Like I said, you try it yourself, okay? Try and miss your breakfast and see how you feel. And interestingly, you're actually least hungry in the morning. You may not realize that. But the body has mechanisms, yeah, that increase our blood sugar just at the time we're waking up. So the body knows you're going to get up. It releases a hormone called cortisol, okay? Cortisol is a hormone that wakes us up, and that pushes blood sugar, you know, increases our blood, gives us a burst of blood sugar to get us up for the day. Okay, so the body already knows what to do. But over time, due to habit, we wake up and we're looking forward to our breakfast because we're used to it. It's habits. It's all habits. Okay, and habits can be changed. There's no reason to take breakfast. If you wake up and you're not hungry, please go to work, you'll be fine. Or you can have a drink, have your cup of coffee or something and go about your way. This person says, the general says, I'm not a breakfast person. And that's the way, that's it. You know, you'll find that you'll be okay, honestly. Have a drink of coffee or tea or whatever it is you drink in the morning and go about your business. I'll teach some more on this in the Weight Loss Academy. But what I want to emphasize is that the body already has natural mechanisms that ensure that your blood sugar is raised in the morning. So actually, you don't need to eat when you wake up, okay? Because your body has taken care of that. Someone says, I only drink water in the morning. Okay, so I hope that answers us.
Okay, thank you. I hope that does it. That should be enough for everybody to listen to. Otherwise, you still want to. You made a statement about what our ancestors, our fathers, our old people in the village used to do, and it resonated with me. Those days, truly, you won't see these people eat breakfast in the morning.
Exactly.
Because by early in the morning, they're in the farm. And so they will only eat at noon or thereabouts. And you see, I mean, it's a lifestyle for them. And you have these people actually living longer.
Yeah.
I doubt it when you see an old man in the village those days, early in the morning, is eating a bowl of or parada. They wouldn't do that. You know, they will eat their meal maybe in the afternoon and all that. So that is very instructive. Someone is asking, what is the latest time one should eat any heavy meal in a day? What's the latest time? So, okay.
Yeah, so I'll advise most adults, you know, try not to eat beyond 7 p.m. You know, 7 p.m. That's it. Try to avoid late meals. And the challenge is that a lot of people stay up late. You know, so if you're staying up so late, some people are still awake at midnight. So obviously you're going to feel hungry. You know, if you're up that late. So you have to have a strategy to manage that midnight hunger, because ideally you should be in bed, not being awake, okay? But if you do find that you're the type of person who is awake at night, then it means that during the day, you have to fast. You have to, because you should have been fasting during your sleep time. You don't eat when you're sleeping, but now you are awake, so you've eaten. That means during the day, you really shouldn't eat. So you've sort of reversed things around. You know, the body really needs that opportunity to burn its fat. So I would say try not to eat later than 7 p.m. But I know it can be a difficult one for people who do night shifts and that sort of thing.
Wow, that's great. Let's just quickly run with speed now, some speed because of the time we have left. Someone is asking, did not get the weight loss calculation. My audio didn't catch it. So I'm sure someone is asking you to just repeat a little bit about that weight calculation that you did earlier.
Okay. Please. Yeah, so we're talking about the 5% weight loss. That sort of magical number when the health benefits kick in. So I said, if you're planning to lose weight, then you should calculate 5% of your weight now. So for example, if you're 100 kilograms, okay, so you do 5%, that's 5 over 100 times 100 kilograms, which is your weight, when you do your division, you'll be getting 5 kilograms. So 5% of your weight is 5 kilograms, and that should be your first target. That's what you should try and lose. So I don't know what the person's weight is. Maybe it's 90 kilograms. So 5% of 90 kilograms will give you 4.5 kilograms, and so on. So that's what the calculation was. Come to our weight loss class, Fab Weight Loss Academy at gmail.com, and we will teach you some more about that. Joanna has given us a good tip there. She says, when it's bedtime, just brush your teeth and tell yourself no more eating. You know, I mean, well, once you have your dinner at 7 or whenever it is, that's a good tip. Brush your teeth. That's a signal to your body that we have finished all the mouth work for today. Door closed, no more eating. Thank you, Joanna.
Wow, great. Another question, I'm sure Galaxy A40S, that was the person that asked that question. I'm sure you got that calculation now. If you haven't gotten that, please, backstage, you can chat up with Dr. Ada, and she will take you through that again because of time. Someone is also asking, what of peptic ulcer patients for skipping breakfast? Peptic ulcer patients for skipping breakfast, please, doctor.
Okay, so peptic ulcer patients, you need the support of your doctor. Okay, I can help you with that. Please get in touch. You need to be on medication. You know, there are tablets that ulcer patients need to take called proton pump inhibitors. You will know them, things like omeprazole, rabeprazole, lansoprazole, those sort of medication, and because they protect your tummy and help heal up the ulcer, you know, by reducing the sort of amount of acid in your tummy. So for ulcer patients, I would say take it nice and slow. Okay, stay on your medication while you're doing this. Delay your breakfast maybe for an hour. See how you feel. Okay, do that for a couple of days. If you feel okay, delay it again by 2 hours. Go nice and slow. Just there's nothing. There's no don't do anything dramatic. Don't come and fast for one day and say, Dr. Adaeze said, that's no need at all. Just stay on your medication, do things gently, listening to your body every stage of the way. I've seen ulcer patients fast, I've seen them lose weight, and they do quite well, but you might need a bit of hand holding.
Okay, thank you. We have a lot of questions coming in, but I don't know, we've actually already exceeded our time, but let's see how much we can take. Maybe just take 3 more, and we'll just bring this question and answer session to an end. Someone is asking, I'm not a breakfast person, used to fasting lifestyle. Hope no issues though. The person is used to, you know, no breakfast. So she's saying, I hope there's no
It's perfect, no issue. I mean, you tell us, do you have any issues yourself? You know, if you're getting on okay with it, then it's fine to continue. Okay, Joanna. Okay. Sorry, go ahead. Sorry, I saw something, but it went off the screen quickly. I didn't see it.
All right. Okay. For late night hunger pangs, it may be that it is that you are actually tired. So go and brush your teeth instead. Okay, that's just a contribution. All right. Because of time, let me just see if I can take this. Someone asked, Sisters Connect actually asked, what do you have to say about reduced sugar products, like the reduced sugar baked beans? Reduced sugar products, like the reduced sugar baked beans. What do you have to say about that?
Okay, now those may be good. However, my concern is that when they say reduce sugar, they have put something else, you see, because food has to be palatable. If you remove the sugar, they may have added something else to give it some taste. You need to be sure what they're adding. Sometimes they add sweeteners. You know, if they remove sugar and add sweeteners, then they can say reduce sugar, but they've actually added a sweetener. You understand? But they're allowed to say reduce sugar because they've removed sugar. You know, so the important thing will be to read your labels. I'm always suspicious of reduced sugars, reduced fat, diet this, diet that. Many times it's just best to eat the normal thing, yeah, and know you've eaten that, rather than going for those reduced things, because they're often highly processed. they reduce the sugar, but they add other stuff into it. So that's what I would say. I wouldn't make that a habit, to be honest. It might be something you can start with to help you, when you're starting your journey, it can be difficult to make changes. So if you're moving from Coke, full Coke, the normal Coke, and you're struggling to get rid of that, then it might be that you can move to Diet Coke for some time before moving to water. So these things can help as a step in the journey, but they shouldn't be the end point. I wouldn't say stop at that point.
All right. I don't know. We just have questions pouring in. Doctor, we have a challenge here. So I don't know how we're going to do this.
We can continue tomorrow, I guess.
Again. Yes, the questions tomorrow? Are just pouring in. Yeah, see, okay, I will just take this one question and I will tell you what we are going to do. Let me just take this question. What weight loss target do you advocate? What weight loss target do you advocate?
It depends on what you need to lose the weight for, okay? So if you have severe health problems, if you have diabetes that the values are through the roof, you do your blood sugar and it's saying high, that's the machine is saying high, it can't even give you a value because your blood sugar is so high, then you really need to drop a lot of weight if you're overweight, okay? But again, if your condition is not too bad, then the 5% weight loss is always a good place to start. If you know you're not the right weight for your height, definitely 5% is the way to go. If you have health problems that are complicating matters, then you might need to lose a lot more. When people come to me and say things like, oh, I have high blood pressure, what am I going to do? I tell them we have to start with your weight, because if you drop some kilograms, that high blood pressure is likely to come down. So whatever health condition you have, if you're overweight, it's always a good idea to start from that, okay? And aim for 5% of your body, of your weight, unless you have more severe health problems. In quick case, please get in touch. I'm happy to look at your health records. If you email them or fax them over or whatever, we'll get you registered in the class. I will have a look. Like I said, it's like having your own personal physician. And I'm a lifestyle medicine physician. I'm not just your doctor, you see, because your doctor may not be trained in how to use lifestyle to help you. So you might need a bit of help with that. I'm happy to look at your results, send them from the lab or whatever. Let's see how we can walk around things. I may not be able to see you physically, but we can do a consultation and we can try and help you.
All right, great. Ada, the questions are just pouring in. We can't take this anymore because of time. What we'll do, we are going to have an episode 2. I want to ask for permission from Ada. We're going to have episode 2 of this next week, Monday. Because tomorrow, I would have said tomorrow, but tomorrow we have another lecture on diabetics. So we're going to have episode 2. I can promise everybody, next week, Monday, same time, same station, MCare TV. Please come in and maybe we will just do an interactive session at that. Yeah, not so much of the lectures, just do interactive session, let people ask questions. Next week on Monday, I can guarantee you Ada will be here again to have your question. But I won't let you go without asking this question because it's somehow funny and I am sure a lot of persons will want you to answer this. You actually said in the course of teaching that we should not have breakfast. Okay, don't have breakfast and have lunch again. So in other words, you have skipped your breakfast and it's time for you to now have lunch. You take your breakfast, you now take lunch, you do everything at double, 2 in 1, that kind of. Then someone asked, does skipping breakfast not make you eat much lunch? So it's like a question that is actually answering what you're saying. Don't eat breakfast by 12 o'clock and it's okay. I just took breakfast 12. Let me take lunch by 1 o'clock. That kind of 2 hours after. So someone is saying, does skipping breakfast not make you eat too much lunch at a go? Maybe that heavy lunch, just because you skip breakfast, you want to put so much on your stomach. What do you say about that?
Well, so that's why it's really important that you're motivated. What's your motivation? What's your why for doing these things? You understand? If not, you will keep undermining your efforts. You have to have a strong reason. Well, and that's one of the things we explore in the academy. We look at your why. What's your strong reason for trying to lose weight? Because that's what will help you to do the right things. If you want to lose weight and you've already made the effort to skip breakfast, why would you then eat the breakfast again and the lunch? You understand what I mean? You should feel quite motivated now. Wow, I've done well. I've missed my breakfast. Right. Let me have lunch. Just have your normal lunch. It might be initially when you're when you're starting a new habit, it can be a challenge. You might feel a bit more hungry. And it's okay to eat a bit more, but with time, with habits, you find that actually when it's lunchtime, you just eat lunch, and you're fine. You just move on until it's dinner again. So it takes some time getting used to it, but eventually you will find that you don't need to eat those 2 meals again. In any case, eating the meals within a short period and then having a long period of fast is fine. Have a short window. Say, okay, I'm just going to eat whatever between 1 o'clock and 7 p.m. That's my eating window. And we teach on this in the class, okay? What we call time-restricted eating. So you just eat within that window. So within that window, you can eat anything you want as far as I'm concerned. But once it's 7, you brush your teeth, and that's you done. So that your body actually has a chance to burn all that until the next day, 1 p.m. Okay, so I would say if you're motivated enough, don't take the breakfast. Just eat a normal lunch and move on.
All right, thank you. Actually, there's a question. I want you to answer this before we go, because it has something to do with childbirth and breastfeeding. So I will just, that's the only question coming in from another dimension. But while you answer this question, Ada, please, I want you to let the audience know a little bit more about the Fat Weight Loss Academy, so that they can connect. I mean, beyond this forum, they can connect, and that is a much more extensive training academy where people can really have all the information they need here. Someone is asking, Ami Oyedili, please, doctor, please, when is the best time to start weight loss after childbirth and breastfeeding? That's the last question. We have a couple of other questions, but this is the last question. But just talk about the Fat Weight Loss Academy so that people can connect with you.
Okay, so should I take the question first then, yeah?
Yeah, just take the question and then round it up with the...
Okay. Yeah, so if you're breastfeeding, especially if you're exclusively breastfeeding, it's really important that you eat enough so that your child gets enough nutrients, okay? It's not a good time to fast. We wouldn't say fast when you're in fact, people who are breastfeeding should not be fasting. If you're pregnant, should not be fasting. If you're a child, should not be, so there are some people who shouldn't be fasting, you understand? Because your growing child needs all the nutrients it can get. However, it's not an excuse to overeat. Because if you overeat, you're just storing up trouble for yourself. Bear in mind that child, by the time it comes out, is going to be about 2.5 kilograms. Okay, so the 2.5 kilogram baby is just so, it doesn't need a lot, you see. So don't use that tiny baby as your excuse for overeating. You're overeating for yourself, you understand? So don't use the baby as an excuse. Just bear in mind that it's a tiny thing growing inside you. It doesn't need that much. So it's really important when pregnant, eat healthy food, but don't overeat because your baby doesn't need that much actually. Okay, so if you're exclusively breastfeeding, then during the time of breastfeeding, you need to keep eating. You need to keep eating because you're the only source of food for your child, okay? So I would say when you then start giving the child other foods, that's when you can begin to also cut down on your own eating if you want to lose weight. So if you're exclusively breastfeeding, please eat normally, but eat healthily. Don't give yourself, it's you that will have to lose the weight later on. So eat well while you're breastfeeding. But once you begin to tail off, then you also tail off your intake because baby is now getting its nutrients from other foods. So that's what I would say about that. So shall I round up?
You want to just say a little bit about the Fat Weight Loss Academy?
Yes. So what we want to do is really to support people in their journey, because we know whatever it is you want to do is easier if you have some support, okay? And that's why the Fab Weight Loss Academy is there, for you to see other people trying to lose weight with you. You know, it's for males and females. So whether you're a man or a woman, just come along. We can help you. Like I said, contact me on fabweightlossacademy@gmail.com. And we're starting on the 2nd of May, we kick off. It's a Facebook group, private group. Okay, it will just be on Facebook, but it will be private. The teachings will be aired in the Facebook private group. So even if you're not a Facebook person, don't worry. It's a private group. We'll do the teachings in there. We'll support you to get your goals. That's what it is really. But if you want to be on the May class, please get in touch as quickly as you can. Because we don't want to take too many, so we can give detailed attention, because sometimes we need to look at medical records, weigh you, teach you different things. So it's quite nice to have a cozy group. So please get in touch quickly if you want to be on it. And it's actually quite a total program, because we'll also be teaching on sleep. Some of you struggle to sleep. We'll teach you how to sleep. We'll teach you about meditation, We'll teach you about stress management. That is another key thing that is making people to become fat and obese. We'll teach you about stress management. We'll teach you about drinks, about fasting, about exercise. So it's a total package. And the learning is not just for you. Yeah, the learning is for your family. If you're a man here, if you understand what we are teaching, you can teach the whole family. So it's not just you gaining, the whole family gains. If you're a woman, you're the one who makes the meals at home. If you come into the academy and learn, then the whole family will benefit. You see, so it's the effect is actually widespread. It goes beyond yourself, So it's one I'll really encourage us to get on board. It's just for 4 weeks. So by the end of May, that's you done and your beach body is ready, So I'll encourage you to come on board.
Wow. Dr. Adaeze Ifezulike, thank you so much. Thank you so much. I want to apologize to those I couldn't take their questions. We still have questions on YouTube. We have questions in the Zoom platform, but we're sorry we can't take all these questions because of time. But what you can do for us is, if you dropped your question in the Zoom platform and we didn't treat it, please subscribe to Marriage Care International Ministries on YouTube. Drop the question, go back to the video, drop the question. And so we're going to collect these questions again and we will look at it. Or better still, next week, Monday, same time, 8 p.m. Local time, GMT +1. We're going to be back here again and it's going to be interactive. And don't you also forget the academy, the Fab Weight Loss Academy is first of its kind, is unique. It's a total package. I know what she's saying. So it's a total package. Don't miss it. Registrations have started. Connect backstage, trace that Gmail address and get to the convenience or get to speak with someone, and the modalities for registrations will be communicated to you. Dr. Adaeze, once again, I want to thank you so much. Always a pleasure to have you. And sometimes I just wish I could just listen to you for another hour, over and over again. Yeah, it's always so tempting to have you, talk like this, because one will always be tempted to just stay back and keep listening over and over again. Those of you who have just joined us for the first time, this presentation was put together by Marriage Care